today we're going to talk about, is that really you? It's all about authenticity. It's a continuation of the Parker Palmer book, Let Your Life Speak. I'm going to put a little Imelda Shanklin in there also with what are you, not just who are you. So thank you again for being with us. Everything that you need to know about this community you can find on our website at www.unityofflagstaff.org. You can also donate there, and we appreciate your ongoing support of this community. So be sure and like that YouTube and share that link. Blessings, my friends. Namaste.
You're supposed to recognize it, Bruce. Must be him. Dang it, Bruce, you messed me up. I've done that for years. You're the first one to ever recognize that, Bruce. Hey, Penny, what you need? What? I don't know, man. I don't know what I can do on this. Oh, wonderful. Such confidence. I'm trying here, okay? Brad, turn me down. Why did it go up? That's the picture we use, okay. Enough stressing out over that for today. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. I'm Reverend Penni Honey. As you are comfortable, would you please stand? We're going to sing a very familiar tune, This Little Light of Mine. As you are comfortable. You ready, Ryan? Almost. Okay, so how you doing this fine day in September? Hey, today's Celebration Sunday, so we're going to celebrate. So think about the things you want to celebrate. And how we doing now, Ryan? Yeah?
Sounds in tune to me.
Sounds good from my house, right? Here we go.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, I'm feeling like third grade camp counselor right now. You guys, ain't nobody gonna it out. Ready? Ain't nobody gonna it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Ain't nobody gonna it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Spread the disease. Ain't nobody gonna it out. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it. One more time. This little light of mine. Ready? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And say good morning to each other. Here we go. And we're finding our way back to our seats. Good morning again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Reverend Penni, honey, for those of you who don't know, and if you don't know and you didn't get any propaganda at the door, you're going to let me know, right? Because we're going to make sure that we can stay in touch. And you have arrived at Unity of Flagstaff. All right, class, let's settle down. Here we go. Come on now. Get in the room with me. There we go. Deep breath. Big, deep breath. Where is God? Everywhere.
Why is God?
Everywhere. All right. Thank you. I like it when you're in the room with me. So, again, welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. Look at this. I'm double fisting it. Is this a talented speaker or what? Seasoned. That's what we'll say. So, my friends, again, welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. It is our joy to be celebrating this day with you. We are reminding each other of the divinity that resides within us. We are celebrating our true nature. And we are glad you are here to do all that. And for those folks across the planet that are finding ways to express their divinity, we say yay you. And we support that because at Unity of Flagstaff, we love people. Say it with me. We love people. And animals, of course. I heard that. I knew I wasn't going to be able to pull that off for very long. And today is Celebration Sunday. And that means we're here to celebrate. Well, we're always here to celebrate. I first want to acknowledge our board member of the day, Dave Savage. Thank you, Dave. Yep. I pull up in the parking lot, and there goes the Unity sign out in front of the building. That's Dave, not only as a board member, but as a community member, and we appreciate you, Dave. I also want to thank our calendar sponsor this month. It is September. Josie Devlin not only did the photograph, but the quote. Yeah, did you see it? Oh, ours didn't get changed on the back wall. That's it. That administrative assistant, she's out. That's me. Thanks to our volunteers, all of our volunteers. How many people here do something here? Come on now. All of you do. All of you. Guess what? You sat in this room today, and I appreciate that. But I do want to acknowledge today Miss Marcia Wiesner as a special recognition. Every time I look at those little volunteer lists, there's Marcia's name. And Marcia, we appreciate the light you bring. We appreciate your efforts. And we appreciate the connection that you are in this community. Thank you. And I think you have a volunteer pin, don't you? Or don't you not? Don't you not? Well, come on, let's take care of that. Come on up here. And look, you get to choose. There you go, volunteer pin. All right. My English teacher is having a fit over that don't you not thing. All my English teachers, right? This quarter we are supporting our Helping Hands project, and it is Sharon's Manor, and that is part of the housing project here in Flagstaff. Just remember, the more you give, the more we give. And then we'll be we will be sharing your celebrations during prayers and gratitudes. That's when we'll hand out flowers, birthdays, whatever kind of birthday, anniversaries. Did you just get something really, really right this week? Yeah, then you get a rose. So I want to remind you that Unity is founded on prayer. And in this community, we like to give you lots of opportunity to be able to ask for that and to receive that. Leave a prayer request in our prayer box located over there in that beautiful little alcove. Or ask a prayer partner to pray with you. Call Silent Unity at 24/7, 1-800-NOW-PRAY. They're always there. And request prayer here at the center by calling us at 928-526-8893. This little quote, I saw some little foreheads kind of scrunch up last week when I read this, so I'm going to read it again. Affirmative prayer can be defined in many ways. It can be said to be the taking hold of God's willingness. And I'd love to talk to you more about that if you're interested. Speaking of prayer, we will be celebrating World Day of Prayer, of course, here at Unity of Flagstaff, starting at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, September 13th, through Thursday, 5 p.m. You can come in at any time during that period of time. The sanctuary is open. There will be somebody here for 24 hours. We have people from different faiths filling in to facilitate those hours of prayer. And you have the opportunity to do that also. It's really simple. We have step-by-step instructions. How wrong can you get prayer? And this year we are affirming, I open my heart to healing in this moment. So be sure and check out that opportunity. And if facilitating is not your thing, come and sit in the peace and the quiet and the calm as we open our hearts to healing. So let's do some of that now. We feel the quieting of our minds. We recognize the softening of our hearts. And we are filled with gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. So we're just going to let it be. For a moment, I want to steal some of your time to remind you that on September 9th, we're having spiritual gifts class. You can think of it as an Enneagram for your spirit. And it's fun, and it's easy, and it's a couple hours, and we're going to do that here in the center. Registration's not required, and neither is payment, but both are appreciated. So give as you are inspired and join us. Sign up out in the foyer if you're so inspired to do so. If not, just show up on Saturday, September 9th at 2 o'clock. We'll be here. And speaking of spiritual gifts, I love the way this comes together, right? We're now going to have Dave Savage, our board secretary, share a little bit of his experience when I ran a little experiment on the board with the spiritual gifts training. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Yeah, my experience started in 1980. I'd been Baptist and Methodist and that before then, and I was a bad Sunday school student because I kept asking questions, and they kept saying, it's the faith you have to believe. I kept saying, I like to get some answers. Well, in 1980, attended my first Unity service in Atlanta, Georgia, and they didn't mind talking. They loved talking about different subjects. They had a full bookstore. It was wonderful. So I've been in 3 Unity congregations since then, here near Philadelphia and this one. I've been a greeter in all 3. I've been a board member at 2 of them, and I've been part of buildings and grounds, in all 3 of them. I find a lot in Unity itself. When Penni ran this thing for the board, and that a couple of different words popped up for my spiritual thing, but hospitality, I think, is the one that guides me the most. And as you guys probably know that have been around me a while, I do a lot of volunteering here. I've gone another board and doing work with community college and on and on and on. So to me, it's very, very rewarding to volunteer. So I use my talents and whatever. I think Mr. Higgins is next.
Oh, good. Thank you, Dave. One of mine is evangelism, so get ready. It's going to be 20. Sorry, Penni, your talk is gone. One of my spiritual gifts is not patience, and
Amen. Amen.
and we had a little rough start to this process that Penni, the board, and this hanger-on went through, and but once the logistics got worked out, it actually went pretty well. And what I liked about it was that it brought into focus some things I hadn't really been aware of about myself, some gifts I had, so that was good. And one of them was evangelism, which, what? But there's another one called service and giving, and actually I'm doing both of those on Saturday, so I'm glad I've already gone through this because I'm going to be volunteering at a race at that time up in Tucson. But it also, interestingly for me, I guess, identified some things that I do that I'm not really too turned on about. And so what's nice about this is it helped bring some focus to the things I would like to put more time into that do feed my soul, and not so much in the things that don't. And so I would encourage everybody here to actually participate in this. I think it's really good. The questions that are asked can really give you a chance to reflect. And even if you're really spiritual, you might still learn something about it. So show up. It's a great thing, and it'll give you some more potential focus in your life if that's what you want. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, show up. That's kind of rule number one for life in general. And so I'd like to now bring Miss Alice Hagerman up to the front. She is your platform assistant today. Round of applause for Alice. Okay. She's going to make it look so easy, all of you are going to run out there and say, yeah, I want to be a PA. And if that is true, hook up with Miss Trina Getz over here. She'll get you fixed up. Thank you, Alice, for being here.
I'm supposed to talk to this. Not you, this. So, it is recommended practice in life that we start with gratitudes and prayer requests. We are honored to share your prayer requests, celebrations, gratitudes. We collectively affirm with you that those that you pray for and celebrate with, that the presence of God is in all things, and it is one power. We know that, we know with you that God, the universe, the spirit, whatever you call it, knows the details. Does anyone, no, you can't do it today. We're not doing that today, you know. You know, I have an important little blurb to tell you. How about a gratitude or a prayer request? I'm a great reader, too. So.
Enough of that.
Well, as I told you, I'm not known for my patience, and I got a real lesson on that yesterday when I trashed my friend's car on a trip in the middle of Kayenta in a parking lot that has a concrete pillar that sits low. And anyway, so 12 hours later, actually, we got back to Flagstaff. I wasn't planning on being here today, but so our trip ended. But yeah, it was. I'm grateful that it didn't go any worse than that. That car is repairable, and it came out okay. After we did win the battle with State Farm about towing a car 144 miles. Thank you.
That'll teach you patience. And today we're talking about being authentic. So I am grateful that you were safe. I'm grateful that no one was hurt. I'm grateful the car is repairable. And I'm grateful that you got it. Right? That you got it. Yeah.
All right, here I am, Michael, the dumpster diver. On Friday, you know, we have a mile to keep clean on the interstate. It even has our name on it, and it's cooled off enough. I'd just love to get some volunteers to go out and meet me Friday morning at the gas station on Country Club Drive, closest to the interstate, right by the dumpsters there on the north side. And we'll park there, and we'll go out and make those streets just look shiningly clean.
What time, Michael?
9 a.m.
Okay, so that's Friday at 9 a.m. That's this coming Friday. So if you have any questions about that, just email or call the church and I'll get you straightened up on it. Get you the information you need. Thank you, Michael.
So my gratitude, I've got two. I had a birthday this Friday, so once more around the sun for me. And my dad is celebrating 85. He'll be on the 10th. So we have a couple of September birthdays in my family. So yay, Dad.
Yay, Dad. Yay, Trina. All right. Excellent. Happy birthday, my friend. I told you this before, but I'm grateful you came to the planet because it's made a difference in the world and in my life. Truly. Yeah, I'm glad your dad would. Yeah, that was nice of him.
Hello, all. Oh, we have set up a unity lunch. We're trying to do it once a month, get people to get together and do something informal and fun. So I made it especially on a Wednesday, and the people that requested the Wednesday can't make it. So it's this Wednesday, the 6th of September at 1 o'clock at Wildflower
I made it so you can avoid the brush wildflower. So if you can make it, please let me know or sign up and I'll get in touch with you. Okay? Thanks.
It's the lunch bunch. That's Wednesday, right? 1 o'clock? All right.
So, a bit of good news. So, for a long time, some of you have known my father-in-law, Randy, has been fighting cancer for the last 6 months, and it was pretty aggressive and awful. Had a bunch of intensive rounds of chemo and radiation. They just did some major biopsies all around him. They were worried that maybe it'd come back. They checked everywhere they could possibly check, and he is cancer-free. So, he's still got a long road of getting some health back and getting some strength back, but he's been having much more fun with the grandbaby and hanging with her and feeding her all kinds of fun stuff. So he's really getting close to back to being himself somewhat. So it's a relief, though it's still a long road out, but at least there's no more cancer. So
Yay.
Yeah.
Put him back to work. Yeah. We're celebrating that, Ryan. We're celebrating that through the whole family, for Randy. Yeah. Do you remember when it was a prayer request? Do you remember?
Good morning, I'm Daniel, and some of you are aware that my mom had transitioned last Monday into a senior living care facility in northern New York. Thank you for your prayers and the abundance of love that's available. She's doing really well. Her and her dog are happy, and it's a beautiful, beautiful situation. I talk to her every day, and she's always in gratitude. She's an angel. I was blessed to have an angel as a mother. So thank you all.
And we see that continuing to be easy for her, and that the family is feeling comfortable, and we know that she is safe and cared for. Yeah, we're affirming that.
I have a gratitude. My daughter, who's had years and years of struggling with illnesses one after the other, well, she was in the Mayo Clinic for the last while, and they found out what's the matter with her. So she's got more energy, she's happy, the depression side is going off where she's finding something to look forward to. So I'm very grateful for that.
Laura, we're celebrating that. We're celebrating that, and we see that easily continuing and moving forward. And we also just embrace the healing. And we know that it's possible in all of our lives, ever present and possible. So we affirm that with you. Yay! What do we? Laura, I think you need 2 roses. Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big birthday, huh? How many people have small birthdays? Not me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I'm grateful that last Thursday I completed 7 weeks of radiation and chemotherapy, and I am grateful for all of the support that I received from both the radiologist and staff and the chemo doc and her staff, along with family and friends that sent love my way and food.
Yay! You know, I think we're just winning today. What do you think? Yeah? I think we're winning today. Bob, we're celebrating that with you. And we see continued healing and perfect health all around you. And that you always know that you're loved and supported, but only always.
I was watching I guess the news, whatever they want to call it. But anyhow, I happened to turn it on, and they were talking about how old all our politicians are. They're so old, and I thought to myself, I am so grateful for my health. Some of their age are close to mine, but I won't go into that. But at any rate, I am so grateful for my health, and I am grateful for how the VA has taken care of me. Because in the past, years ago, it wasn't like that. But now they're taking care of me, and I am so grateful.
Mike, we're grateful for your health also. We celebrate it with you. And blessings of gratitude to those organizations that support our vets, that support those who are in need. We're grateful for that. We still live in an amazing country, right? All right.
I'm thankful for his health too, because this this month is 10 years of marriage for us.
Yay, you guys, 10 years, and you still have your health.
Can you believe he's only 35?
Cute, very cute. We are celebrating that 10 years of, I'm sure, everyday absolute bliss. And if not,
Testify.
but what we know is that love is love, and we are celebrating that with you, and thank you for modeling it and bringing it into the world. Thank you.
I am so grateful that my baby girl, who's not a baby anymore, and the man she met when they were in high school when she was 16, and they dated for a long time, and then they split up, and then they got back together. She's finally going to get married on September 22nd. I'm like, oh, thank you, God. So I'm so grateful.
You're gonna get an in-law, right? And isn't that wonderful? He's not. We're celebrating that with her. Yeah, and with you. Yeah, love is love, right? Right? Doesn't it bring us joy to hear it expressed? And yes, we're grateful. So congratulations. Yeah.
Praise God. I just want to praise God. Mine is a prayer request. I know a man who I've been married to in another lifetime. He was a very abusive husband, and I killed him. I put a knife in his back when he wasn't looking, and I went to prison for it for the rest of my life. Well, God has us back together as supposedly friends. And I see him on occasion in McDonald's all of a sudden, and we'll be just so happy to see each other. No touch or anything, but I don't want that. But my prayer request is that you would pray for Margaret as far as what she's dealing with this man, because he claims that I'm not with God, and every time I see him, that's what he wants to claim, that I'm not with God, that I don't hear God, and I don't follow God. And so it's been very rugged, because I'm very much with God. I carry this candle with me all the time.
And Marguerite, we affirm with you, you can never be without God.
Right.
Right. And
Thank you.
all outward appearances are exactly that. When we stay connected to the divine nature of who we are. And we send love and joy and light to
His name is
those.
James.
To James.
Right.
Yes.
And he's a homeless man too, on a bicycle.
So we are affirming perfect connection and understanding. Take the mic. Thank you, Marguerite. You too can play. All you got to do is be a PA. Oh, wait, that was like a poem, like a rhyme.
Yeah, right. We are grateful for the power of prayer and the good news spoken and unspoken here today. Again, we affirm that each condition, person, and situation is an expression of the divine. We claim love, wisdom, healing, and wholeness. And so it is, and so we let it be. So our principal has shrunk. God is. And what more could you want to say?
So let's say it together. God is. One more time, take a deep breath. I know it's a lot. God is.
So I quickly want to add something. The Art in Action, Open Doors Art in Action group, which is housed in the Episcopal Church on Beaver, has a exhibit now on the healing power of art. And next First Friday, we will have the cancer support group leader, whatever she is, talking about the masks that we have that were from people who had cancer and they needed just to protect their face. And they've been decorated and they're beautiful. So we support, or have supported. So if you have a chance, it's really a very beautiful exhibit. And it's not just the cancer, but with Hozoni, Parkinson's, and
So be watching the website. We'll have more information on that, and we'll also have information out here. There's some on the back wall also about that event. So thank you. Yes, Alice is very involved in that. Once again, one of our amazing Unity of Flagstaff folks stepping up in our greater community, right? Right? Yeah.
So authenticity. Penni asked, does your life speak the authentic you into the world? I asked, do you know your authentic self? When we know what our purpose is, who we are, deep in our soul, we will discover our authentic self. Some people speak of their life activities as something they are guided to do, something that fulfills their purpose. Spiritual leaders sometimes say, do you just do what you love and you will fulfill your purpose. I decided that my purpose would be the person I had come here to be, using the talents that I had been given. This gave me a sense of my authentic self. I realized when I was a young mom that people like to talk to me about their lives. I'm a good listener. I don't talk a lot. You may have noticed. You may have, whoops. I care about people and they sense that. I don't tell people what to do and I'm not judgmental. I keep in touch with those I feel I can continue to be of some help. My niece in New Orleans lost her husband at a young age last spring. I keep in touch with her through text. After one of those texts, she responded, "Your texts are always nice." To be authentic, I believe we must be humble. Or maybe we're humble because we are authentic. The monkeys in my head are mostly quiet. I suggest things that I feel might help. If I get feedback telling me that it helped, I have a warm feeling along with a sense of satisfaction. I was able to help them grow, and I grew as well. When you are your authentic self, there is an aura around you, a light that others sense and are drawn to.
Thank you, Alice. When the message was about authenticity and I saw that Alice was the PA, I said, yep, there we go. I love timing, right? Thank you for that. So Ryan will take us into meditation. Settle in, if you will. Oh, how we love this song. Oh, how we love live music. Thank you, Ryan.
When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. An even better magic trick is anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but find where there isn't one. But holy water was rare at best. Barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I'm walking with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
Rest into that. Here in this safe and comfortable space, we feel our feet planted on the ground. We start to breathe in the sacredness of the time, of the connection. Everything, everything is holy. The divine nature of who we are welcomes these times of quiet, offering us the opportunity to connect at a deeper place. Feel that now. Notice the light within as it shines, as it warms and as it heals. Permeating our entire body, enfolding us in grace and lifting us to a deeper understanding and a place of peace. Rest there in the silence. And in these brief moments of ease and peace, we can feel the healing. We know the connection. And we give great gratitude. We breathe in and we release into this sacred time, into this sacred space. Everything is holy now. And so it is. And so we're just gonna let it be.
I was waiting to see if the lights are coming back on. I wasn't sure. We're still sitting in a moment there. Another moment. So you might notice I have a different guitar with me today. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. This is another very nice instrument that I found at a music store, and you'll see why this story relates real quick. We're talking about authenticity, and for me, authenticity kind of goes into something of what we can be, you know? And I found this guitar in extremely rough shape at a music store, and they had no idea what it was or the level of quality it was. And so they had it listed for about a fifth of what it should have been. And it was rough, and it was beat up, and it had some problems, and it needed to be kind of put back together. And it's still kind of settling in, but isn't it pretty sounding? And it's one of these things I thought, someone just could have left it there and never known what it could have been.
And I'm going to have you do the other song first. I just changed my mind. Is that okay? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Sorry.
Come on, Penny.
We had.
I was so prepared and confident.
I know.
Now you gotta make me play an instrument I'm nervous about playing. So.
Oh, well, that way you don't have to think about it. Ryan's doing 2 songs today, and I want them flipped, because I want them flipped.
You want me to flip.
And, and so, don't you love this, right? Right? Round of applause. And he's playing a piano. He hasn't played a piano in years and years. So how blessed are we? This song is entitled "The Girl That I Loved."
So, I gotta tell this story now. Thanks. I gotta re-prep stories. Thank you, Penny. New mind state. Piano. Okay, so I told you guys a while back I had spent some time in a behavioral health unit, and I started writing this song about a day or 2 before I checked in. And I don't normally sit at a piano, and I was in a rough spot. I was staying at a friend's house in Sedona, and they had this beautiful grand piano there. And I've never been much of a piano player. And I sat down and I started writing the first couple lines of this song, and I thought, yeah, I'm not going to finish that anyways. That was a thought I had. That's a crazy thought. And it's not that it's anything particularly revelatory or even something I would say is my best song ever, anything like that.
No, but it's authentic.
It's authentic, and that's the point.
I want you to hear that in the room.
And it was in a spot where I realized that even in that really nihilistic and kind of gone spot of not being well, that I still had a desire to create things. And that's kind of been bringing me back for a bit. So this is a song called "To a Girl That I Loved." This is the 3rd time I think I played piano live. There's a girl that I loved who's never happy. There's a girl that I loved who seldom smiled. I hoped against hope. If I could make her laugh, then maybe she'd be fine for a while. There's a girl that I loved who lacked perspective. When her thoughts grew dark, she couldn't see. She wouldn't ask for help if she had the need. If I'm honest, she's a lot like me. A broken bird with a tattered set of wings. Don't offer much, just some beauty and the songs that I can sing. So here's not one where I fix you. I've tried that enough. It's just a song to a girl that I loved. It's a girl that I loved who needed quiet, time away from all she was needed to be. She swore she'd find peace if she had the time, but peace is seldom for a heart like mine. I'm a broken bird with a tattered set of wings. Don't offer much, just some beauty and the songs that I can sing. So here's not one where I fix you. I've tried that enough. It's just a song to a girl that I loved. It's a girl that I loved who's never happy. There's a girl that I loved who seldom smiled. I hoped against hope. If I could make her laugh, then maybe she'd be fine for a while. And just maybe I'd be fine for a while.
Tell me you don't play piano. Go ahead.
Man, it makes me nervous to play piano.
And thank you. So see, that way you didn't have to worry about playing piano all the way through the talk. Now it's just done, and see?
No, I mean that would have been better.
Is that really you? Today is new, and I am newly awakened in it. Say that after me. Today is new, and I am newly awakened in it. Our deepest calling is to grow into our own authentic selfhood, whether or not it conforms to some image of who we ought to be. As we do so, we will not only find the joy that every human being seeks, we will also find our path of authentic service to the world. Parker Palmer. Is that really you? That question can be asked, is that really you? Is that really you? Authenticity. Last week we started on the book, Let Your Life Speak. That's this little guy right here by Parker Palmer. We're doing a deeper dive after service. Wait a minute. This is me juggling. We're doing a deeper dive after service because we're going to get into the hows to apply authenticity in your life, how to let your life speak. But we started last week, and this is what we heard. Before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen for what it intends to do with you. Before you tell your life what truths and values you have decided that you stand for and that you will live up to, let your life tell you what truths and values you embody. Last week we asked the question, who am I? And no, this is not a go out and find yourself message, because I think you don't have to do that, because you already are. You are you. You are the expression. And when we ask the question like we asked last week, who am I? What we're talking about is, who am I? How am I perceived? Who am I when tough times roll around? And a deeper dive into that question is brought up in a book. Now check this name out, Imelda Activa Shanklin. Not everybody can pull that off. And the book is entitled, What Are You? And it, in my opinion, is a deeper dive into who am I, but what am I authentically? What am I as a representation of spirit? I don't believe that Parker Palmer knew Imelda. Well, I'm sure he didn't, since she was born in 1865. But she too was influenced by the Quakers. She too started out as a Methodist. And I really truly believe when I overlaid their work that what it is who am I is where we start. And the invitation into authenticity is when we ask the question, what am I? At this point in life, I'm sure a lot of you are saying, I know what I am. Come on. This is for like 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, right? They're trying to figure out who they are in the world, right?
You know, Penny, I'd appreciate if you stopped taking our conversation, turning it into messages.
I can't help myself. And Ryan, the truth of it is, you are authentic enough to say it out loud. And my question to this room is, are you? Are you ready to stand in the bare nature of your divine self and say, what am I? The good, the bad, the ugly, the scared, the dishonest, the confused. What am I? Joyful, full of light, grateful. What am I? Yes, I am. All of those things. And Imelda would tell you this, that when we talk about who am I, and we think about the personal piece of that, that's one layer. But the next layer of what am I takes us into the impersonal. Because see, the personal changes. Just ask my hairdresser. Right? The personal changes. Just ask the scale. The personal changes. Look at the clothes in your closet you don't wear. And that's okay. But the impersonal that Imelda is inviting us into is about knowing what we are at the core of who we are. And how that expresses into the world is impacted every time we ask the question, now what am I? Am I being authentic? Am I locked into the truth of who I am? Am I showing up as my divine nature? And I will tell you, the answer to that some days is no. And that's personal. But the impersonal of me, the divine that I am, the connection to the all that I am, is unchangeable. So when it gets tough, when it isn't fun, when it just sucks, remembering what you are will carry you through. Remembering that you are an infinite being expressing into this world. Now, I know some of you may wake up every day knowing exactly what you are and that you've got it covered. And I want to have coffee because I want to know what that looks like, no matter where you're at on the timeline of age. Because if we think that we have hit our pinnacle and this is it, good for you. The invitation for the rest of us is let's dig deeper. Let's look at what we are and how we want to show up in the world in that. I call this divine discontent, and it used to irritate me a lot because it should just be according to Hoyle. It should just be the plan that I've laid out. I should be a really, really, really important construction manager, building really, really, really big buildings, making lots of money. And that was not the divine nature that I was called into, and I didn't like it. Because this, frankly, is harder. Well, I don't have to deal with subcontractors, but this is still harder. And that's the cool thing about authenticity. When we step into it, I am not here to tell you it is going to be a party, because it will not always be fun. It'll hurt. It'll scare us. It'll scare the people around us. Trust me. And yes, you may see your life as static, but I am here to tell you it's dynamic. Did anybody see the super blue moon? You want to talk about dynamic? Do we live in an amazing world? This is your life. Nature displays it for you all the time, that you are dynamic and changing all the time. You want to know why you get a little discontent? Because sometimes it feels like the target keeps moving, because life keeps throwing things at you. And if you're not living in the what am I as an authentic being, it can get really scary. What am I? And it is here that we find our authenticity when we move into what am I? It's here that we really start to get real. Now, I get accused of being too darn happy. And she's just always full of energy, and she's always happy. Now, there are people in this room that know that that is not true. Some of you have had to deal with that. But the core of what I am allows me to be that person in that moment. Because I know that authentically I am a divine being. And so it's safe to move outside of that box once in a while. And it's also safe to be authentic and be happy. You don't have to just be sad and going through a lot of trial to be authentic. You just don't have to. Imelda says this: square your consideration of life by the fact that you are more than this flesh and blood. That you are everlasting in your nature, and that is what speaks in you and speaks through you. Let your life speak. Rumi says this: there is a candle, and I call that candle authenticity. There is a candle in your heart ready to be kindled. There is a void in your soul ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you? He said. And see, when we ask the question, what am I? We open the way, as Parker Palmer says. We open the way to allow even the darkest of times, when it is really, really difficult to be us. We open the way, and we deal with and express our authentic self in those moments. And this is where we heal. Now we're getting authentic. Now we're really getting authentic. And Parker Palmer tells us, and this is a man who took 3 really, really deep dives into depression. He said this. He said, ride it all the way down. Be authentic enough and grounded enough in knowing what you are, that you can ride it all the way down. You can feel it and you can heal it. Ride it all the way down. Allowed ego and ethics to lead him into a situation that his soul could not abide, is what Parker Palmer said, is what took him on those journeys. Those things that change in life. There's always loss. There is sadness. And there's light. And there's joy. And there's peace. And there's healing. But to be authentic and to stand in what you are so that you can feel that. And align with our authentic selves. Again, the good, the bad, the ugly, the courageous, the vulnerable. This is where we heal. Brene Brown says vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. Authenticity is when we can be our sadness, when we can be our joy, when we can be those things in the middle of whatever is happening. And we know our authentic selves. Being authentic requires courage. It requires vulnerability. It requires us to not allow the perceptions of others to drive our expression, or the expectation of situations that we should feel a certain way. Those are the things that will keep us from healing. What we are at the core of who we are, if we're not living there, if we're not authentic, then we're doing damage to ourselves and to the people around us. We're also robbing the world of our God-given natural gifts that we talked about last week. What if Ryan had said, no, I'm going to go get a regular job. I'm going to go be an accountant.
That's always the example I bring up.
What would we have been robbed of? Because he chose to stay the course and align with his authentic expression. What is he? He's a world-class musician, that's what he is. And we're grateful to have him. What are you? What are you robbing the world from because you won't step into your authentic expression? And what are you afraid of? It couldn't be any scarier than not being who you are authentically. It could not be any scarier. And if you remember, we found that the word vocation, which so many of us use when somebody says, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a minister. Vocation is our voice. I've decided to start answering that question. When somebody says, what do you do? I say, I bring light. I rock life. And so do you. Come on, I bring light. Say it with me. I bring light. And I rock life. I am my authentic self. I'm not just a minister. Not that that's so bad. But I bring light. And so do you. What is that authentic statement in your life that you can look in the mirror every day and say, I bring light? What is yours? I bring light. I rock life. And I do it because I have chosen to step into my authentic self. I am not afraid of that darkness. Bring it on, because I am grounded in the authentic nature of who I am. Let my voice be yours. Let my voice be yours. Listen. Exercise your heart. Stay curious. Keep asking, what am I? And be faithful to your gifts. And lead with your heart. Today is new, and I am newly awakened in it. Let yourself, as Rumi says, be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Ryan's going to remind us to sing our song. Namaste.
So the story. So I saw it hanging on the wall, and I knew what it was. I knew what it could be. And everyone's like, oh, that old guitar there doesn't play very well. It kind of stinks. And that was what everyone was saying. And these guys, these young kids at the music store, they didn't know what it was. They couldn't see its potential. So I probably robbed them of about $4,000 of profit, but that's okay. I saw what it could be once it would be put together, and so I had my guy go through it. And it took him a while. You had to pull the neck off and reset a bunch of things. And it was a big ordeal. And it was definitely probably a painful thing for this in my mind. That's how I'm thinking of it with this guitar. This guitar was going through a breaking and a rebuilding. And I got it back as I was in that phase. So I was going to buy it to flip it and put toward a newer car. But I decided to keep it because that feels more authentic to me.
I think it's four-wheel drive, isn't it?
Yeah. Who needs cars? You just have two nice acoustic guitars. But this is a song called The Songs I Sing, and if I had one song I had to be known by, I guess, it would be it. Because for a long time I thought I was this excitable rocker guy. That's what I was going to do. And I was going to blow your minds with guitar skills and all this nonsense. And I'm realizing I'm just kind of a guy with too many feelings. So I'm just doing that now. I used to believe I'd be called up to the heavens, that I'd see my maker's face and have a mansion in the sky. But now I've grown and I have nothing to believe in. Ain't no lamp that lights my way,
no path that guides me home, bound to wander this old world on my own. But I've got a song, I've got a melody, I've got some people that I love singing next to me. I don't know what happens next, I don't know what death will bring, but I believe in the songs that I sing. Yeah, I believe in the songs that I sing. When I was singing in the pews, well, I was really part of something, as if the angels gathered round and abided by my days. But I still get that feeling every time I lift my voice up in somebody's living room or a big old lit up stage that don't make much, but damn, it feels great. 'Cause I've got a song, I've got a melody, I've got some people that I love singing next to me. I don't know what happens next, I don't know what death will bring, but I believe in the songs that I sing. Yeah, I believe in the songs that I sing. Sometimes I feel low, like I lost my faith and should give up. 'Cause no matter what I do, I'd never be good enough. But then I hear a song I love and I remember why I started. The music found me, surrounded me, called me by name, saved my soul, and I'll never be the same. 'Cause I've got a song, I've got a melody, I've got some people that I love singing next to me. I don't know what happens next, I don't know what death will bring, but I believe in the songs that I sing. Yeah, I believe in the songs that I sing. Oh, I believe in the songs that I sing.
We believe in the songs that you sing too, Ryan. Right? Right. Yay! Yes, yes. Round of applause. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, you should promote that.
We're getting ready to do that. So next week, Ryan is at the Arboretum. And it is a great show. I mean, the backdrop, they've done a great job with that backdrop, don't you think? You know, the mountain, the peaks. It's really awesome. It's on Saturday night. You can get tickets online.
Yeah, so if you get ahead of time, I think it's it's $20 if you're a member at the Arboretum. I think it's $25 if you're not. Kids under 5, I think, are free. Then 5 and up are like $10 or something like that. Show starts at 5, is that what it says? Yep. I don't know these things anymore. I just show up when my calendar tells me to. But it should be really good. We'll have my buddy's doing pro sound for it, and it's always a great evening, and it's usually a really good turnout, and it's a nice kind of my one show I do per year. So you don't just hear my sad stuff and my quiet stuff. You get to hear my loud stuff and all my other stuff. So yeah, it's a good time. You should come on out.
It is. Please, let's plan on that. Yes, let's support Ryan and the Arboretum in that process. As you're preparing for Celebration of Abundance, I want to remind you that we have a gift for you table over here. There's stuff there. We have books on these shelves over here, and they are free to take. Bring them back if you don't want them. Bring them back if you do want. Don't. You know, whatever. You know how that goes. Anyway, do that. Because we are here to support you on your spiritual journey. And of course, everything you want to know about the community is at www.unityofflagstaff.org. Today, after Sunday celebration, we're going to take a deeper dive. We're going to get more deeply into the how we start into an authentic life or how we enhance the one that we're living. So please feel free to join us. We appreciate you being there. And we had a really good conversation last week, actually. It was pretty cool. And I want to remind you about September 9th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sign up out in the foyer so about your spiritual gifts. We also have Miss Selena Shue here, and she has a table out there. Do you feel like your dream relationship is just a fantasy? I had somebody come up and say, Penny, I'll pay for that class for you. Are you challenged when it comes to asking for what you need in relationship? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Please check that out. We're grateful, Selena, for you to bring that to our community. And so let's bring those baskets up here. Let's do a little bit of blessing. And looky at I got my helper today. I am so excited to have Emerson here. I owe her an apology. I forgot to have her come and help, and they almost didn't get the job done without you. So I am grateful you're here today. Thank you for that. Okay, you want to do that now? Okay. Oh, so also check out Mystery Dinner Theater. You can vote. Which of the mystery dinners? No, which one of the mysteries you want to do? That's what we want to say. And we're going to do that in October. So check that out. All that information is out there, and you can even read about what those mysteries are about and which one would be of most interest to you. Are we ready? You ready to bless these baskets? Me too. So together we are saying, Spirit expresses authentically through my generosity. One more time. Spirit expresses authentically through my generosity. We give thanks. Our lives speak abundance. And go forward, my friends. Thank you for that. We're going to round it up here with a little light of mine and light of yours, I guess. As you're comfortable, stand after the baskets have been around. We appreciate your generosity. We love live music, and your generosity in these baskets is what makes that happen. So thank you for that. Whenever you're ready, Ryan.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Ain't nobody gonna blow it out. Ain't nobody gonna blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Ain't nobody gonna blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Ain't nobody gonna blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing this little light one more time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
See, that 9 does not belong to me. Turn around sometimes. I'm like,